Before starting your journey as a student here in Canada, an offer letter from a school is the first thing you would have to get. It is also one of the most important things you have to consider before starting your visa processing. In today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys tips and tricks or the most important things to consider before choosing a university or college here in Canada. So if you're interested, stay tuned. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, you're welcome. If you're an oldie, thank you so much for coming back. My name is Nneka and I hope you learn a thing or two from this video. Okay guys, so the main reason I'm making this video is because I've been getting so much questions and messages from you guys on how to actually start your visa process or how to actually start your study process here in Canada, and the thing to actually look at when choosing a college or university. Basically, if you want to start your student immigration process here in Canada, the first thing you would have to get is an offer letter. So in today's video, I'm going to be giving guys 7 tips on how to choose the best universities or colleges here in Canada. You have to pick a designated learning institution. So what's a DLI? A DLI is a school approved by the provincial or territorial government to host international students. So you have to make sure that the university or the college you go for is under the DLI list. If your school is under the DLI list, you'll be eligible for a postgraduate work permit. A postgraduate work permit is a work permit that's given to you after your year of school, which is what I'm under right now. So every international student who actually studied in an institution that's under the DLI list is eligible for a postgraduate work permit. If you don't choose a school that's under that DLI list, you won't be eligible for a postgraduate work permit, which is very important. That's if you plan on staying in Canada, which I feel is almost everybody's goal. But if that's not your goal, then you can go for any school you choose. I'm going to leave the link to universities and colleges that are actually under the DLI list in the description box, so check it out. The second point you have to consider is the length of your program. I think I've mentioned this point in my previous videos, but I'm going to mention this again. So the amount of time given to you on your postgraduate work permit all depends on the amount of years you were a student here in Canada. As an international student, if you do an 8 months to 1 year program, you'll be given a 1 year postgraduate work permit. But if you do a 16 months to 2 years program, you'll be given a 3 years work permit. If you're planning on staying in Canada just for an extra year to work and get some more money, then you can do the 8 months to 1 year program. But if your intention is to stay in Canada for way longer, then I would suggest you do a 2 year program. So if you come into Canada with a 1 year program and you want to extend to a 2 year program, you can do that after your 1 year course. But I advise everyone, I don't know everyone's goals or their preferences and everything, but what most people do is that they take a 16 months to 2 years program so that they can be eligible for a 3 years work permit. So my third point is like one of the most asked questions that I've had so far on my channel, which is English proficiency test. So I have good news for you guys. If you're coming to Canada as an undergrad, you don't need an English proficiency test. But as a postgrad, it can be kind of tricky because some schools actually require you to have an English proficiency test. Not every school actually requires an English proficiency test, especially when you're from an English speaking country. So I'm going to leave a list of those schools that don't actually need you to have an English proficiency test in the description box. So yeah, check it out. Guys, don't just apply to one university, don't just apply to just one college, don't just apply to just one school, whatever it is. Don't just apply to one school, guys. Apply to multiple schools, apply to 1 or 2, but don't apply to so many because you're actually paying for application. So don't apply to so many schools, but don't just keep your eggs in one basket, because if that basket tears, all your eggs are gonna break. Okay, I'd actually advise you to apply to 2 or 3 colleges. There are some schools that their ranking is actually higher than other schools, so the waiting list for those schools are actually way more than schools that actually have lesser ranking, right? And the thing with ranking is that those schools that have higher ranking actually are more expensive than schools that have just normal to minimum ranking. And to be honest here, I don't really care so much about ranking. The only thing ranking does for you in terms of school is that it actually exposes you to bigger companies. The bigger companies will actually acknowledge you more because of the ranking of your school. You know when they say like everything are packaging, you understand? So if your school actually has higher ranking, like you just seem more attractive to companies that want to hire you. For example, now if someone goes to Harvard, right, and graduates from Harvard, right, and someone is graduated from another school, the person that actually graduated from Harvard actually has a higher ground on getting that job compared to the other person from a different school. So also apply for different courses as well. For example, if you want to major in gynecology, right, you can also apply for things like midwifery or pediatric nurse or something that's actually really close to your scope. And one thing about this is when you get into Canada, you can always switch programs, but that's if you actually have free space to actually take more intakes for that program. I just feel like you should open your scope and apply for different courses and also apply for different universities as well, so that you don't wait so long for just one university to accept you. So yeah, I'll actually advise you guys apply for different courses and apply for different universities as well. The next point is apply to schools that have a co-op program. So co-op program is what you can call, what's another word for co-op program? Yeah, internship, right? So when you're going to school, you're actually also going to like a firm or an organization or even the hospital, whatever the case may be, to just get like practical knowledge about your field, right? So why I say you should actually apply for schools that actually have this co-op program is it to give you a higher ground among your peers. It to make it easier for you to get hired by that company you worked for, or by that hospital you work for, or that institution you actually did your co-op program in. The other side to it is that not all co-op programs are paid co-op programs. So I have a friend in engineering in BC, right, and they actually pay, but in my own case, during my co-op program, I wasn't paid. So it actually depends on the school, and actually also depends on the course you're taking. So yeah, it's a win-win, but either way you will get something in return, and you also get to know what you like you get to know what kind of field you would like to work in, if you like to work in this kind of firm, what kind of sector of the hospital, of the organization you would want to work in. Like, it just exposes you to the experience basically. So having a co-op program in a school is actually really important, because it will give you a higher ground amongst other people. Tuition fee. The last Canadian related video I uploaded, that was I think about 2 weeks ago, was about tuition fee. Tuition fee actually very relative. Some schools are higher ranked than other schools, but one thing you want to know is the higher the rank, the higher the tuition fee. And it also depends on the course you're taking as well. So if you're taking like more of engineering courses, I don't know, engineering courses are just more expensive. I don't know why, compared to science courses or arts courses, right? I feel you should not really bother about ranking, but that's my say though. So the next is colleges versus universities. The first thing you have to know about colleges and universities is colleges are way cheaper than universities. Period. So if you're actually on a very tight budget, I'd advise that you actually look towards getting into a college than getting into a university. Some people say that colleges have like limitations, so many limitations, but bruh, it does not really matter, because personally, I haven't seen any limitations, because I actually went to college, right? So I didn't see any limitations at all. I didn't see, maybe because I had not experienced a university here in Canada before. For me, there was no striking difference between a college and a university. And one thing most people don't actually know is that colleges actually offer degrees as well as diplomas and graduate certificates, but that all depends on the course you take. Everything actually is in your court. If you want to apply for a college, it's actually up to you. If you want to apply for a university, it's up to you. So now let's recap this video. The first thing you have to know is that you have to pick a school under the DLI list. You also have to consider the length of your program. The third thing is that you don't actually need an English proficiency test. Apply to different schools and apply for different courses. The fifth thing is apply to schools that actually offer co-op programs. And the sixth thing is you have to consider your tuition fees. The higher the rank, the higher the tuition fee. The seventh thing is college and universities. Colleges are way cheaper than universities. Okay guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you learned a thing or two, and just in case you have any dilemmas, confusions of any sort, just leave your questions down below and I'll get to them as soon as possible. Please guys, don't forget to like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, share my videos with your friends, and also turn off the post notifications, the bell like kind of button, yeah, so you can get notified every single time I upload a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys. Bye.